Yo, hello guys, Afam here. We're looking at Tindral Heroic, looking at the VOD from Method, just going over the video, pointing out what I see, what's important. The fight is a bit longer than most bosses, so the video might be a bit longer as well, but in general, the boss isn't too hard, at least it doesn't look like it. There's not too many abilities, not too much stress. It repeats a lot of the abilities even in the different phases. So let's look at what happens. Just a random POV, not my favorite UI. They bloodlust and pull, pop everything. I don't want to skip ahead, just in case I don't miss anything, but there will be some downtime. So roots, we do the same thing as on normal. You get close to the boss, around the boss, keep them stacked so that we AoE them down. Some people are not in. Maybe you know why. Reason why is because they can break their root themselves. We see this druid, he just pumps, and most likely he will just shapeshift, get out of the root. That's it. So don't worry about the ones. If there's ever a root outside, you don't swap to it. They will decide themselves if they can break it or not. A new thing, the circles, they will get mass dispelled away from the boss on top of a world mark. So if you get the circle, you run out, you get to the world mark, you'll get mass dispelled. Not really on call out, it will just be done by the priest. Whenever he sees people are stacked up, he mass dispels and you move out of the fire. One guy was late, we can see that here as well. In that case, he will just get single dispelled afterwards. A new mechanic on Heroic compared to normal happens here. The swirlies, they are followed by these beams that you have to dodge. I'm pretty sure they one-shot. They are fairly slow, so just move away, dodge it, and ideally we will always, basically always when we have to move, you can see it here, we will use a movement speed increase, roar. Can be on call out, but also if you know we're about to move, if any of the druids will use it early, everybody else sees it or we have it already and they don't pop it, so feel free to just use it on your own. Alright, and I'm not gonna stop much more because those are most of the mechanics that are important. So we're just gonna look over the fight. Roots are close to boss. Same thing, this guy is a druid, he will just pump, and once he's deciding not to pump anymore, he's gonna break the root himself by shapeshifting. Hunters can do the same, you should know yourself. Circles, they move out, ideally there's a marker already. Get mass dispelled, moving on. And fire beams, we pop a movement speed, move out of it, dodging these beams. Alright, boss goes into intermission. You know yourself, I do believe you have to pick up a feather in order to be able to ride. It doesn't look like he does it, so actually he did. And then zooming over, if you wonder what's fast, this guy, at least what he does is he spends the 3-point speed instantly and just pops the 1-point speed almost on cooldown. When you fly through these swirlies, they give you 3 points again. And just make sure to pick any green orbs that are close. Because the supernova is on a timer. Especially DPS should get there early. There is some raid damage as well. But in general, I think it's a good idea to say that the healers are mainly looking out to pick up any orbs that have been missed or that they behind the raids, basically. So he has an absorb shield. We are pumping. This happens at 2-minute mark if you're wondering. So 2 minutes are up for this. We can see some ticking damage happening as well. Not too bad though. And breaking the shield with 10 stacks. Alright, so phase 2. The roots from phase 1 are still happening. So we always put those close. You can stack 2 people if you don't die from stacking 2 roots, but ideally you don't, and if it happens, it's not the worst. Or you can see there's a lot of downtime. This is the tank mechanic. They soak this 1 by 1. Same circles with a mass dispel from phase 1. moving the boss away from the fire. This is a new mechanic. This is seeds. What we see here, seeds are spawning. Note to mention that you can stand in the swirlies without taking damage, and you will instantly soak the seed. There's a stacking debuff or stacking dot going on you for each seed. So go about 5. 5 should be the max. And the idea here is basically that we just spread out. We look around where they spawn. Usually they're around the boss. I think they can also be mostly one-sided. So just look around. We pop a movement speed. And we try to soak about 5 seeds each. 4 or 5. I haven't confirmed it, but I suppose they can also be immune with Cloak or Turtle if needed. But if people are alive, that's mostly not needed. And that's, I think, the only new mechanic in Phase 2, actually. Everything else is from Phase 1 as well. So we're just looking through the video. I might skip ahead a little bit, actually. We can see Master Spells going out to the mark. They get Master Spelled and going back. We skip a bit forward. This is the more one-sided route, so it's not always around the boss. Just, yeah, look around where help is needed. And we'll do them. We can see this guy only did 1, but the seeds were easily done. Alright, and that was Phase 2. Intermission started. Pick up the red feather that's spawning. And fly instantly, speeding up. Speed up once in the air. 3-pointer forward. And freestyling these orbs is probably good enough. If not, we can also say that group 1, 2 hugs left, 3, 4 middle, 5, 6 right side. Could be something that is valuable. You can see they have 8 stacks, 9 stacks, 10 stacks, so people who are behind, they should look out for these green orbs to soak them. Second one at 4:40, so 2 minutes. We always hold them. 3 minutes, I'm not quite sure. Would have to check the log. I do think that 3 minutes could probably be hold for this one as well. So it's either on pull and then for this third phase, or on pull and then cooldown to use it again. I'm not quite sure. So third phase dispels happens same thing with mass dispel. Looks like it's only 5 people because MD is kept at 5. If not, we single dispel afterwards as well. Roots, same thing on the boss with AoE cleave. These people who are outside will always get out. And we'll see what's new here. Fire beams from phase 1 still happening. So we just move away from this and are ready to dodge. They do one shot. A little bit tricky for the tanks to have the tank mechanic while dodging fire. We have the seeds as well. Again, you can stand on the swirlies to instantly soak them. Go to about 5. Just look around. Don't feel the need to have 100% damage uptime. Focus on mechanics if you need to soak. I do believe we can skip ahead here a little bit. So they're just doing roots. Some random swirlies to dodge. I feel like I'm missing something for P3, but I can't think of anything at the moment. Again, beams are just moving out and dodge. People are dying to this, so let's hope we don't do that. I guess a tricky overlap. Mass Dispel happens at the same time as dodging. Just on the mark-ish, stack up and VMD. See, it's the same thing. I think we do see here some that are missing. He does only go to 5 stacks. I guess 6 is doable. But we can see, actually, let's see how much damage it did. Didn't tick too hard, actually. Just be mindful to look out where they are. And yeah, that's P3. I guess there's no new mechanic. It's just all the mechanics happen on the last platform. Not too difficult when it comes to mechanics. And we're just gonna look at the rest of the video. They are at 10%. Skipping ahead, actually, they're doing roots. Doing stuff with Master Spell, moving out. It's the same pattern over and over. Soaking stuff. Yeah. And that's the fight. Doesn't look too hard, but it's good to know what's happening, what to look out for. And yeah, that being said, thanks for listening. See you guys soon. Peace.